Welcome to That's What She Said, where we'll spill the tea on women empowerment in the Great Lakes Bay region with your host, Christiana Malacara.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to That's What She Said with me, your host, Christiana Malacara. We have this wonderful platform to have this wonderful opportunity to talk about all the wonderful things that women are doing in the Great Lakes Bay region of Michigan and the ways to tune in. Yes. So if you have a pen, write it down. On Thursdays, if you are watching us, that is on the internet at 1:30 p.m. on Facebook, a cool place to be, I guess. So we have Facebook for That's What She Said, and then at Facebook for WSGW, and also on YouTube, which is a wonderful way to kind of look back actually at past episodes. We're hitting a year and a half of That's What She Said, and just so many amazing women out there. They're sharing their story and creating that ripple effect of empowerment. So check us out on YouTube. That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara. And then if you can listen to us over the airwaves, that is Saturday morning at 8 or Sunday afternoon at 6 o'clock. A great way to start out, that mindset of growth moving into your next week. And then anywhere on podcast form, wherever you listen to your podcast, I hope you were listening to That's What She Said. And then also WSGW.com. Whatever is running on air is running on the website. And not just That's What She Said, many of the other shows that are produced here through WSGW. With that being said, if you are truly, enjoying or have a suggestion even, let us know. Let us know. I will comment down here my email address. You can let me know what you're thinking, what's on your mind, but also leave a review. Leave a review on That's What She Said's Facebook page. So let's talk about sharing just for a short moment here. I have two little ones. I have two little ones at home, and they are in the constant, let's see, they're at these ages where they have to share, right? We may have one thing at the house, but all of a sudden they both need it at this one time. All of a sudden it's so critical that they both have it. And I keep saying, share this with your brother, share this with your sister, or how about we take turns in that act of sharing? And so it's one of those things that you have to be able to let go of something to give it. And with that thought process, that could be, moving into our adult life, you have to let go of a piece of knowledge to give a piece of knowledge. You have to let go of this thing, this concept, this idea, this position, whatever it might be in your life. You might have to let go of something to let something else grow, to be able to give. And the hardest part I've noticed for my little ones is that letting go part, right? So he might say to okay, but you need to give it back, but don't break it. So there's this like protective cover over what we have. But being able to let go, to let somebody else experience, it can be challenging. So as you navigate through your week until next That's What She Said day, just think about the things that people have had to let go for you to grow. And like we've talked about in the past, is always saying thank you and showing gratitude to those who are empowering us. So without further ado, I have this amazing guest with me. She's been recommended by several people to come on and sit across the table from me with That's What She Said. We have Amy Spadafore. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Christiana. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is exciting for me. I know many things about you.
Oh boy.
But I don't know you. And so this is really cool when I have someone who's, out in the community doing the things, but I really don't know the girl who's making it happen. So if you don't mind introducing yourself and how the community might know you.
Sure. I'm Amy Spadafore. I'm the managing director at Pit and Balcony Community Theater. I've been doing that for the last 9 years, which was insane when I realized that last month. I am also just massively involved in the arts. I think that's actually where most people know me or see me. I'm the incoming chair for the Michigan Arts and Culture Council. I am also the chair of the Cultural Advocacy Network of Michigan. So that's a big, we work with legislators on policy and budget issues to make sure that arts and culture are important all over the state. and are respected as such. And so that's my platform is arts and culture. I truly believe that art can save this city, that art can save the world, if we just let it. And so I think that's probably what most people would say is Amy's the art girl.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I am really good at pretending to be humble. So when
Girl, tell me more. Okay. Okay.
So I have been introduced as the arts maven before, and I don't disagree. But that's a lot. It does feel like that's a lot to carry, a big responsibility, but someone's got to do it.
Ooh, and that person is you right now.
Right now it is.
Yeah. 9 years at the Pit and Balcony.
Yes.
What, for those who are not familiar, because the podcast, it's in the podcast form on apps, right? So in Saginaw. The Pit and Balcony.
Yep. It's in Old Town Saginaw, way on the north side of Old Town, kitty corner from the Umbra building on Hamilton Street. Yes. Hamilton Street.
Yeah. So what do you do at the Pit and Balcony? What is this?
I'm the managing director. The Pit and Balcony is a community theater. We're starting our 94th season right now, in September 2025, which is also insane. So Pit and Balcony has been in Saginaw and a part of the fabric of Saginaw's arts and culture scene forever. They started in an attic. It was just a bunch of women who came together, and they read stories with and to each other, and they performed plays for each other. And then they started inviting their friends, and soon that attic was too small to house all of the people that were wanting to come to see these plays. And this is back in 1932.
Okay.
So then they moved to a carriage house, and one of their members' backyards. They learned how to do sound and lights and whatever that looked like in 1932, and costumes and all of that. That barn burned down, and they bought the plot of land on the corner of Throop and Hamilton Street, which is where we are now. So the Pit and Balcony that is at 805 North Hamilton has only ever been Pit and Balcony. It was built by the volunteers. They broke ground in June and opened their first show in October of the same year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's an incredible story.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And that date you said 1932 was the beginning.
1932 was the beginning, and the house that they started in is actually still in Saginaw. People live in it. It was once known as the Garber Mansion.
Okay.
Or maybe still is known as the Garber Mansion.
I'll look it up later. Yeah.
But the stage is still in the attic. It's been turned into like a projector screen movie room, but there's actually still the lifted little stage that they used.
How does that make you feel that you're part of this legacy that started with women kind of stepping out of the box and a time where it was like a taboo? Like,
yeah,
what do you mean the women are gathering?
And it was the American Association of University Women too. So these are women who were going to college, which also wasn't happening a lot back then. So I think that's great. Carrying a legacy, I think, has a lot of responsibility. But for me, I think the most important thing is honoring the legacy while helping the organization grow and be able to continue a new legacy. I think Pit and Balcony has had many, many, many lives over the last 94 years. And I hope that the impact I make there 10, 20, 50, 90 years from now, somebody is talking about my legacy.
Wow. That is a lot to carry.
Yeah.
And that goes back to, and I didn't know you were going to say this, but that goes back to that sharing concept, right? So what are you willing to let go to let someone else experience and thrive and learn? There was a group of women who created this and handed it off. And now here you are, entering year 9 in this career. That's amazing. Did you always think that this is where you wanted to land?
Theater, yes. And community theater, pretty much, yeah. I wasn't sure that it was going to be Pit and Balcony specifically, but it very quickly became Pit and Balcony specifically, and I'm really happy about it. But when I went to Western Michigan.
Me too.
All right, go Broncos.
Yeah, go Broncos. Great day to be a Bronco.
Yeah. So I went to Western Michigan. I was one of 6 arts management majors. The program has since expanded since I was there, but we were all sitting down with the advisor at the beginning of the year and doing that whole, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Which is kind of nice to do, kind of nice to be part of a really small department because you can have that individualized attention. But
so what'd you say?
I digress. I said, after everyone was saying, New York, LA, Chicago, I said, I want to start a community theater in Saginaw, Michigan. Starting a community theater is very hard. So instead, I just jumped into Pit and Balcony. My advisor was like, what, really? Why community theater? Why Saginaw? I said, well, I'm from the Saginaw area. I love Saginaw. And community theater is one of the only things you can do where you're creating something out of nothing with people you've never met before. And you're creating art. You're also creating family. You're creating experience. And it is transient, right? You will never, we may do a show that we did before, but it's never going to be the same show. Yep.
Never been the same. So the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who creates something out of nothing that didn't exist before. So this is you not only managing people personalities, but also making sure that the lights stay on, the consumers is covered. In a way, this sounds like you have an entrepreneurial quality to you because something is coming out of nothing and existing for people to enjoy. Do you see that?
I see it. I always kind of described myself as an artist stuck in a business person's brain. So
that part.
So yes, like I always wanted to be a little bit more of an artist, and but I realized quickly in my career that the art doesn't happen without the business. Even if we're just talking about an artist selling their work.
I was going to say, when did you realize that?
It was probably in watching my friends who majored in theater performance go out into the real world and live that audition life.
Yeah.
Where it's not about, you're not the best singer here anymore, right? There's 50 of you in this room. And you really have to figure out how to sell yourself. And I think that that's important for all artists to know, is that your work is also business. And that sounds corporate and it sounds, like.
Do you feel that now though? Like, is your work your business?
Yeah. Yes.
And is your work and business your identity?
No.
Unpack that.
Yeah.
Because when you're an artist, people normally identify themselves personally as I'm an artist.
Yep. This was something that I reckoned with during the pandemic, actually, because I voluntarily furloughed myself because my job kind of went away during the pandemic. We weren't producing. I wasn't having coffees with people. I wasn't out in the community, right? Like what we needed to do was keep the lights on, and I had an operations manager to do that. So, but then I think like everybody, I had this reckoning of, well, but like, who am I if I'm not running Pit and Balcony, if I'm not doing this? And a friend of mine, one of my best friends, Danny, said, you don't have anything to fill your cup right now. You're just doing the work. And so you need to find a way to fill your cup. And that's kind of when I realized that it's not that the job isn't me and I am not the job. I happen to love my job, but I have to find ways for it to fill my cup and other things in my life to fill my cup.
So what'd you find?
Well,
Those on air, she's grinning very big, so I'm a little nervous.
Well, I mean, it's my husband.
That's cool too.
You know, he'll listen to this and he'll say, "See, I should get all the credit for your success." He doesn't mean it. He's great. No, he was and is extraordinarily supportive of literally anything I wanted to do. I think at the beginning of the pandemic, I was just doing pit and balcony. He was working for the governor at the time and encouraged me to apply for the Michigan Arts and Culture Council. And so I got appointed to the Arts and Culture Council. And from there, I got involved with the Cultural Advocacy Network. And I've been working with those two organizations that really mean a lot to me and to the state. That's kind of what fills my cup now. I find that I want all art to be everywhere for everyone.
Accessible.
Yeah.
100%. So but does that still work?
No, well, I guess it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
For me, it's not. For me, it's usually somewhere else. It's with people I don't see often. And it's with people who challenge me in different ways, like either intellectually or, personally or whatever. We do a lot of, traveling to see art and culture and learn about our state. And I think it's fun. It's workish fun. I don't know. It's not camping, but it's,
I guess that's my equivalent to networking. Like it's working fun.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So
that's funny because I hate networking.
Why? All right. We'll talk about that off air. So you found a way to fill your cup.
Yeah.
Because someone told you, well, you're just not filling your cup right now.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have come to that realization, or would have you spiraled or figured it out, or what do you think that would have looked like? Because 2020 was very different for a lot of people. Some of us were still busy. Some of us digressed completely. What do you think would have happened if you didn't realize that, or someone didn't tell you that?
I think I would have come to some sort of realization of that. But I don't know that it would have been so specific. I think Danny telling me that was kind of the force I needed to drive me forward to find something to fill my cup, or to be intentional about it. But I was painting a lot during the pandemic. I was reading scripts. I was still doing art. But it wasn't intentional necessarily. It was just kind of like, well, I can't go to work and I can't go anywhere else. So what am I going to do? Bring me a canvas. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if we have a listener out there who, we're far from 2020, but the act of filling your cup and the fact that somebody told you that, because, in all honesty, in that act of sharing, right? Someone told me, Christiana, your cup is full, but your plate's overflowed.
Oh,
exactly. Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So as somebody from the outside perspective looking in, and, you and I are fortunate that someone saw that in us and we're comfortable enough and they're comfortable enough to share what that information looks like from the outside perspective. But there's plenty of women out there who don't have that, that Danny, that Mackenzie to be able to be like, hey girl, you got to pull it together. You're going to explode.
Yeah.
So for someone that's, listening and is thinking, is this me? Do I need to fill my own cup? What advice would you give her?
I mean, I think that I would start by saying, what do you do that makes you feel good? And that sounds really, tropish maybe, or cliche. But I think really sitting down and asking yourself, and maybe even writing it down, what do you do that feels really good, that and it can be just sitting outside and listening to the birds, I mean, it can be something very simple. For me, I think in the broadest sense, it's helping people, but I do it through the the art lens. I think that if you can sit down and you can write down things that make you feel really good, and resist the urge to say spending time with my kids or spending time, because yes, of course, I have an 18-month-old and he's perfect and I love him and it's amazing. The most fun I've ever had in my life. But when I think about the things that fill my cup, it ain't him. No.
Let's be real.
Yeah. So it's the things that I do for me and only me, I think, as I'm talking myself through this.
Yeah. That's the things you do for yourself, and women don't always have that opportunity, but identifying, and you said, what makes you feel good.
Mhm.
So we're going to take a quick break. We have Amy Spadafore with us. I am so sorry. And I thank you for being on. We have much more to dive into in the second half of That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara. So don't go too far, because we'll be right back.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara is back. Now let's spill the tea.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning back in to the second half of That's What She Said. We have an amazing guest with us today. Every week we do. So, I mean, I say that today, but every That's What She Said day is an amazing woman from the Great Lakes Bay region in Michigan, sharing their story about women empowerment, and just all the awesome things. We have Amy here from Pit and Balcony. She does some really cool things over there. The Pit and Balcony is located in Old Town Saginaw. Could you give us that address?
Yep, it's 805 North Hamilton.
And what are, just real quick, some cool upcoming things, or, maybe not upcoming. Give us the website so we can check it out.
Sure. It's pitandbalconytheater.com. Theater spelled with an R-E.
And then is there a Facebook page or Instagram?
Yep,
or anything
there's
like that?
Facebook, there's Instagram. We are on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hired a new community engagement or director of community engagement, and so he's young and
you have a
has
TikTok
us
now.
all on this stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this will be fun. I will follow you because that sounds quite entertaining. A bunch of theater people on TikTok. So Amy, in the first half of the show, you were sharing your journey to getting to where you're at today.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently you've celebrated 9 years at the Pit and Balcony. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But this very last thing you said was, something along the lines of, make a list of what makes you feel good, right? Those are the things that are going to fill your cup.
Yep.
And then you said, I have an 18-month-old, but this baby's great and wonderful. I love this baby, but I necessarily wouldn't put him on that list of filling my cup right now.
Nope.
Why do you say that?
He needs so much from me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's incapable of doing much by himself, which is, it's great. I love watching him learn, and I love watching him grow and figure stuff out for himself. I very much like to kind of hands off it a little bit and, make sure he's not going to hurt himself, but
yeah, but let him fall a little.
Exactly. I think that's a good lesson for adults too, but
that is,
yeah. Yeah. But no, I think that, I mean, he fills a different cup, maybe.
What cup would that be?
I think that I am learning and growing so much through him, exploring the world, and it's almost like I'm doing it. Like, I don't remember what it was like being 18 months old. So I kind of get to see that. I kind of get to do that, and at a time that I can be aware of it and see that we didn't all automatically know how to touch our fingers to our, that we go from grabbing like this, and then all of a sudden watching a kid be able to pick up a tiny little piece of dirt and pretend that it's a cracker and give it to you to eat.
Exactly.
Is remarkable, I guess is the word. It's just the childlike wonder is.
You're living it through him.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So you're, and I'm sure, I'm saying you're attentive, right? You're watching even the little most minuscule steps here of he, right?
Yes.
He of his growth and development.
Yeah.
So just paying attention. So you're saying he fills a different cup. I've never had anybody say they had multiple cups to fill.
Oh, I don't think I have either, but it makes sense. Like, the concept makes sense.
What do
to
you,
me.
okay, tell me about this. Let's talk about this.
I think that, so I do think that there's like a career cup, and there's a family cup, and there is the cup, the one that we talk about, that one that I said earlier, do stuff for you.
Yeah.
There's the friend cup. I think that in all parts of our lives, we have a limited amount of energy, right? That's just, it's, and you can only give so much energy at once, because you have to conserve some for yourself. So what I think is that sometimes, if we have this whole ball that's on 100%, sometimes we're giving 80% of our energy to our career, and that other 20% has to be spread out to the other cups. And so it's important to figure out, and sometimes it's 80%, sometimes it's 50%, sometimes, right? But it's important to figure out how over our lifetime we can make sure that the cups are all balanced and equally filled.
Do you think that's important to have balanced cups?
Yeah. And I think when people say that a work-life balance is a fallacy or a lie, I think that they're wrong. I think that they haven't tried.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
In America, we don't believe it, at least recently, and maybe this is my hot take. We don't believe.
Stand on the soapbox.
Yeah. We don't actually believe in a work-life balance. It's work. You work. And if you have a family, you do what you can to keep them, together, happy, well-fed. But we don't take care of ourselves. Our identities become our jobs. Our identities become our children, or our spouse, or whatever. And we get so wrapped up in the grind, that I think that if everyone just kind of took a second and looked at everything in their lives, it would be easy to find balance. Work is going to be there tomorrow. You don't have to check your email at 8 p.m. Oh.
So setting boundaries. You're essentially saying setting boundaries in your work environment.
Yep.
So that way you can put in the energy into your other cups.
But also, setting boundaries in your personal environment as well.
Have you had to do either of those things?
Every day.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the most challenging boundary you've had to put up in work and home?
Actually, the most challenging boundary that I deal with is between work and friends. Because I run a community theater, that's my job. But everyone I've met, everyone I love, I have so many best friends that I met at Pit and Balcony. They sometimes are my boss, as in like they sit on the board, or they are my employee because I've hired them to direct a show or stage manage a show, or they're a volunteer and we're, colleagues together, right? So, but always we're friends. And so I try very hard to make sure that my friends know what hat I'm wearing at any given time. So that they know if they're talking to, because managing director Amy is a little different than friend Amy, I guess.
So in your group of friends, are you the director of the friends?
I might be, I don't want to say the director, no, but
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. And yeah, probably.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move on. So we're talking about women empowerment. And you're in this career that started with women. You work with women every day. You're the boss, right? You're the boss. So what are ways in your career? And I'm going to ask you this in your personal life too. What are ways that you're influencing that next generation? Starting, and I say it every week to our listeners, starting that ripple effect of empowerment. What is something that you do to begin and start that in work and in your personal life?
I mean, honestly, I think it's this boundaries thing.
Really?
I preach it. I have on my signature line in my emails, I don't check my email after 1 p.m. So if your matter is urgent, please call me. I work 10 hours a day for 4 days a week, but so I'm available, but I've got other stuff I got to do.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an important boundary. I don't get emails on my phone. I make sure that when I am at work, I am working, so that I can put it down when I'm not.
When did you establish that?
I know the exact time I established it. It was 2018. I was in Michigan Arts and Culture Council's class of Rising Leaders, which was a leadership development program that is the best thing I've ever done for my career. And honestly, probably one of the best things I've done for my personal life also. But that's where I kind of realized how to implement boundaries. And I was, given books to read and, things to research and explore on my own. And so I kind of was able to take things that scholars have done and make it my own, lots of Brene Brown and that kind of stuff. But it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. And I'm not naive to think that, anyone can do this. Part of the reason I can do that is because I'm the boss.
Yeah.
That's a luxury.
Yeah.
And I don't take it for granted, certainly. But I do think that there are ways that anyone should be able to put these boundaries between work and life. It's harder in personal life because are your feelings going to be hurt if I don't return your email right away?
Yeah.
But if it's, I've made plans and my son woke up sick and now I have to cancel plans, or
prioritizing. It's more or less prioritizing in your personal life and setting boundaries in your professional life.
Yep.
And that can be challenging.
Yes.
I mean, you don't know how many women I've talked to. They're like, I'm a recovering people pleaser. That's a term I've never heard before. Fairly recently, a recovering perfectionist.
Sure.
There's all these things where we as women are identifying this is actually an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And this may even be a generational issue that we're now putting a name and a label to because we're starting conversations and we're sharing information.
It's crazy that you say a generational issue because I have had Gen Zers and Gen Alphas in the theater, and like they're learning from me, learning how to stage manage or something like that. And I'll look at them and I'll say, okay, I just want you to know no is a complete sentence. And they look at me like, yeah, duh.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, nobody my age thinks that. We have to like
no
intentionally practice that, right? No, but yes, and is what I've been trying to do more lately.
No is a complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence.
Who told you this? Who taught you that?
Oh,
Did you
God.
teach yourself this?
No, I'm sure that the internet, I saw it on the internet somewhere. I
TikTok?
wasn't, yeah.
No.
I spent 2 months on TikTok and then had to go. I felt my brain rotting out of my head.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, no, it was probably something I saw on the internet or something. It was not like a profound moment that I can remember, but it's so true. I for the longest time had yes disease, where I would just say yes to everything, and I can do anything and I can do everything, and
Which you can.
I still believe that that's true, right? It's really hard to do that and also fill my cup. Yeah.
What cup was that taking from the most?
Oh, the cup.
Your cup.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to this generational thing, because I don't really see many Gen Alphas around. I don't know. Maybe Jonathan. No. So no. Oh, Z. Okay. All right. So when you're interacting, with youth, I don't want to say that. That's icky. No. Okay. When you're interacting with people who are younger
sure,
than
yeah,
us,
yeah.
I am still trying to figure out a way to say this without making myself sound old. We're going to go back to that word empowering. Is it easy? Is it more complicated? Are they more accepting of knowledge of empowerment, that sharing factor? Or is it there a push and pull to this?
I think there's a push and pull, and I don't think that it has well, no, it probably does have something to do with generation and generational gaps. But I find often that I learn as much from them as I hope that they're learning from me. Like the education, most of the education that I take part in at the theater, or educating that I take part in the theater, is accidental. I'm not often like right in deep with any kind of specific education programming that we have, but I find myself often with mentees, I guess.
And you're the mentor. So
yes.
How does that feel?
I like it. I like that spot. Because I think I love watching people grow. I love it when somebody loves their job. And I love it when that light bulb moment. Those are some of my most favorite times. And it goes back to DJ, my kid. But then it happens with young people, older people, all over at the theater. There's always, there's a moment where something clicks and it's, and the whole world is opened up.
How does that make you feel when you see that click?
That if I could get that click every day, my cup would never be empty again. If I could see that, and I mean, there's part of it that's like, I have some ownership of the click, mm-hmm. right? Like mm-hmm. I have created an environment that people feel welcome to and comfortable with growth, comfortable with discomfort. And I think that, that's just incredible for me. And I like to be able to sit in the background and let that, you get the applause and I'll just sit here and, proud mama about it.
Proud mama.
Yeah.
There's a lot of background that happens, obviously, in a theater. There's a lot of background that happens when you're a mentor.
Yeah.
Right? You're just advising someone. Who was the mentor for you that you're like, oof, that person?
Oh, man. Well, in business, it's my friend Todd Thomas and Dave Lyman. I wish on this show I could tell you that it was women, but it just so
That's okay.
happens.
They're around too.
They're around too.
Yes.
Those two men, and they're older than I am, at least a generation older than I am. But I learned so much from them. And I did because they let me. It was never, let me take you and show you exactly how to run this business, exactly how to do things. It was, here's this, and do it your way, find your way, take what you learn from me, leave what you don't like, I felt very free under their mentorship. And I don't think that I necessarily realized that they were mentors until later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking, who's that person in my life who helped pivot mindset or spark growth or, all those things.
Yes.
Right. Sometimes you don't see it until after.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's too bad sometimes, but but you're fortunate to have guidance.
Yes.
Right. So if someone is out there looking for a mentor, what is some advice that you would give her? I'm
not the right person to ask that.
I appreciate your honesty.
Because again, for me, it just kind of happened accidentally both ways. The people I have mentored are people who came into my life, and it just kind of worked out that way. And the same way when I was the mentee. There is somebody that I keep wanting to ask to be a mentor for me, and she keeps saying, you don't want me to be your mentor. You don't want me to be your mentor. So I don't actually know. I think it's probably more awkward than trying to date somebody.
Oh, I like that. So, but this is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Is your advice to find a mentor is essentially it could be anyone, anywhere.
Yeah.
Just to be open to the idea of, oh, well, they're thinking in a way of growth that my mind should be thinking.
Yep.
And it could be anyone.
Yes. It could be anyone, and it could be multiple people. And it could be, a moment in time, or it could be like an extended relationship. Todd has become one of my closest friends. And we started in a very professional, relationship with the theater. Yeah.
So, in our last minute here, I have the question. What is a piece of advice that you would give along to a woman of the Great Lakes Bay region?
I've been thinking about this, and I have like 3, but I think where I'm at right now is try not to be the smartest person in the room. And I'll admit that's hard for me. I like to be the one who knows everything. But know that you don't, and know that you can learn from literally anyone at any time. And I think that's, try not to be the smartest person in the room.
I think that's great advice.
Great.
That's fun advice that keeps you in the room meeting new people. Thank you, Amy, for being here and sharing your advice.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So try not to be the smartest person in the room. That's the advice from Amy Spadafore. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what she said.